great. That first time through, that was as good as we've seen him. 9 up, 9 down. They got to him a little bit there in the fifth, I think. Yeah, but even then, he was able to pitch his way out of a jam. That was such a well pitched and defensive game by both sides tonight. That was just great baseball all around. But I thought Slade did a great job. They got his pitch count up those last 2 innings, so didn't feel comfortable sending him back out after 22 and 29 pitches. But he did his job.
What did Abbott do so well to get through the game the way he did?
That we saw him a couple weeks ago. I thought his stuff was sharper tonight. He was hitting his spots with the fastball. The changeup was really good tonight, and mixed in the breaking balls to the lefties, and he just had us off balance. We hit some balls hard, like I said. Fry gets robbed, Hosey gets robbed of a leadoff triple probably. So, we hit some balls hard, just weren't able to get anything going. He pitched an outstanding game. He was incredible.
In the ninth inning, did you feel like you had good at bat? You had him on the ropes at least there in the line.
Yeah, obviously you get the leadoff walk. David gets to a 3-0 count. The bat gets extended, and then they make a good defensive play. And then Hosey does what he does, and Los hits a ball hard. I couldn't be more proud of our guys tonight. I know it looks 3 hits on the scoreboard. But that's how special Abbott was tonight, and we still put ourselves into a chance to win this game multiple times. And we're going through it.
What's the most difficult thing about this Reds team?
They pitch well. They play good defense, good at bats. They're a very good team.
Walk us through, like Thomas there in the eighth, is the decision between pinch running and potentially pinch hitting for Jones. Is that at all a conversation?
Yeah, of course. We talked about all those things. Nolan started versus the starter, and he had seen him twice, so we felt good about Nolan in that situation. Like I said, we don't just look at left, right. We go through all of those scenarios, and Lane is limited in his build-up, so tonight we had very little options with him, so we felt like in that moment, running him for Jonathan Rodriguez and letting Nolan face Abbott a third time was the right move.
After a game last night where the ball didn't necessarily end up where it needed to be a bunch of times, for you guys to come out and have that effort tonight.
Yeah, again, like we talked about last night, this team is good. We're a very good team. Last night was a tough game. We came right back and played a very clean baseball game tonight, and like I said, Abbott was special.
Those first 3 innings, what was working so well for you?
We were getting ahead of guys, commanding the off speed. Simple.
Those last 2 innings, I think either 22 in the fourth. What changed just going through the lineup the second time for you?
They took some good off-speed pitches below the zone. They're disciplined that second time through, and they got on a couple heaters.
I know you weren't fully built up when you made your debut against them. Where would you say you are now as far as volume?
Fully there, fully built.
Where are you going back? I think going into the fourth inning, both of you guys had only thrown 8 balls. You had a game going that quick. Do you realize it as you're in it, or do you just stay focused on the next 3 hitters?
Yeah, you stay focused. You definitely notice it between innings. You sit down, take a few breaths, and you're back up there. Comes quick, but it's part of the game. He was going through the same thing early too, and you just got to compete.
What do you think of that Quan catch he made in the first inning?
That was sweet. How about the Los catch? Yeah. Superman.
It looked like you had the guy struck out 10 the fifth. You didn't agree with the call. Were you guys talking as you left the field with the plate umpire?
Yeah, it was a little bit of an accumulation of a few things that didn't go my way that inning, with that call being, a big moment and a pitch that I felt was executed very well. And I really don't like to talk to umpires. I was disappointed in myself for doing it. We exchanged words after I came out of the game to kind of cool it off a little bit, because I don't even know what I said. I was, I blacked out, just fired up, intense emotion in the game. And, those guys have a really hard job back there, and I try to make sure I respect that as much as I can, because it's not easy what they do. I just felt like that pitch was in a really good spot and a really big spot, so I really wanted it. But, all good now.
What did Abbott do so well today to keep you guys off balance?
The team? Or in general?
In general.
This is a top game today, so he thrown great, but we keep it fighting. We play good defense. We try. We try. It's a good game, but we lost. Doesn't matter. Tomorrow he's a new game, and see what happened. But we had to keep it fight.
When that last at bat, did you feel like you got it, Abbott, and had a hit on that swing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm making good swing, a good contact. So he making good play. So this is what I try to figure out, like my mentally swing in the gap and try to make it run.
Carlos, how tough can a stretch like this be on a young team like you guys are? Like, how do you keep everyone in the right mindset?
I mean, that happened. I mean, it's a long season, up and down. So the mentally, we have to keep it fight. We have to think one day at a time and play the best baseball we can.